Minnesota's opening lineup. Kevin Love and Pekovic are inside. Rubio and Brandon Roy manning the back. And it's Kirilenko in at the 3 slot. And for the Trailblazers, the Bulldozer in at point guard. Inside they got J.J. Hickson and LaMarcus Aldridge. Matthews out there with Batum.
There had been talk about Brandon Roy coming out of retirement last season, and that materialized in the offseason. He had several teams interested, but chose to sign with the Timberwolves, and I'm glad to see him back. I hope he can be close to the player he was before the knee trouble saddled.
The Bulldozer gets his first NBA start.
You just look at how far he's come already, out of the first round of the draft and now an NBA starter. They have a lot of confidence in him.
And they should have confidence in him. I mean, he has unlimited potential. No question about that. I mean, you knew it was only a matter of time until he was in the starting lineup.
Well, it's great to see Roy back in the NBA, and I hope that his knee troubles have gone. But, man, what a gamble for the Timberwolves to give him $10 million over 2 years when Roy hasn't played at all and had to retire because of his knee troubles. So I think a major risk, and we'll see how this pans out.
Batum with the steal. And they're moving it up. On up the court. And Matthews throws it down.
Boy, that happened fast. Just the immediate bucket off the steal.
Well, one of the things they have is the ability to score quickly after a turnover.
All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Well, guys, the head coach for the Portland Trailblazers gave me just a couple of minutes. We talked about the challenges posed by a player like Ricky Rubio, such a tremendous passer and floor general. Coach said, we know he can make plays, but making shots is where he's been less effective. We need to focus on staying home and forcing him to beat us with his scoring. Guys, we'll see if they can limit his highlight reel dimes. Back to you.
Thanks a lot, Doris.
A lot of turnover in the last few years in the front office in Portland. And it's so difficult to make a transition as a team and get better and improve steadily when you don't have that continuity upstairs.
The Bulldozer, and it goes. That's good. And while we're thinking about him, did you guys catch his comments at the press conference after their last game?
He's clearly a big picture guy. I mean, it isn't really what he's done, but what the team has done. It's all about wins with this kid, and you have to respect that.
He's a competitor, no doubt about that. I mean, he doesn't go out and try to make friends or make highlights. He just comes in with one agenda, and that's just to win the basketball game every night.
And as a player, it's hard, sometimes to focus on just playing basketball when things are getting jumbled around upstairs. And there was a lot of jumbling upstairs with the Blazers, unfortunately.
Yeah, that is unfortunate, but it is part of the territory. And these guys are human, even though we think they're robots because of them being professional. When things are bumpy within the organization, it can make it tough to handle your business between the lines if you're a player.
Roy attacking over Aldridge. Can't hit. Aldridge with some nice D.
Well, with that much space off the pick, you've got to drop that in.
Yeah, you got to make that one. I mean, that's a high-quality shot you should make 9 out of 10 times.
Here's the Bulldozer coming off a solid outing against Phoenix. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
It really didn't seem to matter to the Timberwolves last year whether they were playing home or away. They had the same record in both categories.
That one falls, so he hits both of them. And that record you mentioned, Clark, 13-20. Not a terrible mark on the road for the Wolves, given all the injury woes they had. And Steve, they're going to look to improve that, I'm sure.
Yeah, and that number got worse at the end of the year after they suffered some injuries. So I don't think their road record was as bad as what it ended up to look like. But this is a team on the rise, guys. There's no question. They've got some talent. This is a big season for them, though. And they've got to establish themselves on the road if they're going to be a playoff contender.
And so here's Portland. After the basket by Minnesota, they double him with Love. It's a look, and that one's good by Aldridge.
Soft defense right there. Way too soft.
The Minnesota Timberwolves coming to this one following a loss to the Nuggets.
Well, loss or no loss, that was a fantastic game, Clark. They can be proud of the way they battled, at least.
I suppose, but Steve, it still was a really heartbreaking loss. I mean, you hate to lose in overtime. No matter how hard you played, it still leaves you very empty and disappointed when you come up short. Boy, they just cannot figure out a way to stop this guy who scored it, Kevin.
Well, when you talk about Rick Adelman, coach of the Timberwolves, you think of really one of the most successful coaches that the league has seen over the last few decades. 7 years as a player, over 20 years as a head coach. Stops in Portland, Golden State, Sacramento, Houston, and now Minnesota.
And the basket good. Roy's got 5 points so far.
Big mistake not having more defensive pressure on him out there.
The pass to Aldridge. Matthews. Here's the bulldozer. 10 points for him. Launches a three, and Matthews with the basket on the assist by Batum. Batum's got 3 assists in the game. Timberwolves trail by 6.
And, you know, getting back to Coach Rick Adelman, I mean, he's made the playoffs in 16 of his 21 NBA seasons as a head coach, a winning percentage of around 60%. He's never won an NBA title, but he's certainly had good results throughout his career.
The Trailblazers have gotten 7 of their first 10 attempts to fall so far. Excellent pace to their offense. And let's take a second to view a list of shooting guards who have been very dependable offensively this season. These 2 guards are the most accurate in the league. Take a look at the bulldozer, leading the league in field goal percentage. He always gets good looks. And, of course, Wesley Matthews.
Well, you know, it doesn't seem like they've missed many shots here.
Good on the shot. 7 points for Brandon Roy. Trailblazers leading by 4. Here's the bulldozer. Right now averaging 31 points a game. Pass to Batum. They get a hand on it. Here's the bulldozer. Shot clock at 6. And that one's good. The bulldozer's got 12.
What a quarter for him, and with this lead, I mean, they might as well just ride him the rest of the night.
Rubio, the pass to Love. Back to Rubio. And Pekovic backs down. Feeds it to Roy. From the corner. And the jumper is on the mark. He's got 9.
Well, he's really having a nice quarter. Made some big shots for him.
Wesley Matthews on the wing. And the foul on Andrei Kirilenko. That is his first foul of the game.
His first personal foul. Second team foul.
So it's Portland now. They lead by 4. And it's stolen by Ricky Rubio.
This has to drive a coach crazy. That's his 3rd turnover already here in the first quarter.
Well, he's got to fall back and get back to the game plan. I mean, his execution has been very uneven and inconsistent so far.
The Timberwolves shooting their 3rd free throw shot of the game.
Well, impressive free throw shooting as a team this season, right around that 78% mark.
Yeah, in general, they've been very solid. I mean, free throw shooting isn't something they've had to worry about too much this season, guys.
Now, they've got to offer more resistance inside. Just too many easy buckets in the paint.
Yeah, Stephen, that's the top priority for any defense. You got to protect the paint.
Now, here's Rubio. 17 points for him last game against Denver.
He was exquisite in that game, Kevin. It wasn't just the scoring, it was the passing, too. And his teammates, you could tell, were just really enjoying playing with him. And what I like watching, Kevin, with this guy is his ability to just chase down rebounds. I mean, he plays so hard, hustles from the opening tip till the final buzzer. And it really shows with his work on the offensive glass.
And guys, he plays a tough brand of basketball. His biggest tool and asset is his strength. And he uses it every time down the court.
Timberwolves trail by 3. Roy dishes to Rubio. He dishes it to Kirilenko. Shoots a fader. And it's Portland with the rebound. The Bulldozers got 3 rebounds now in this one. This is their first chance to take a look at the Timberwolves this season.
Let's take a look at where the Portland Trailblazers stack up as the season gets underway. First in scoring. First in assists. And they're also number 1 getting into the passing lanes and coming up with steals. An aggressive team that ball hawks very effectively.
And the points that they're scoring per game that you talked about is really a result of great offensive execution. I mean, this is a club that works well together. They get great looks, and they'll also score in transition.
He hits one and misses one, each at the line.
The 2-possession lead is what they were looking for there, so they can deal with that one miss.
Roy with it, and Batum picks him up defensively. Roy can't hit.
And you know why he was open there. They didn't commit too much defense to him, and you can see why. He has trouble making that shot.
And that one's good.
Well, everyone seems to have the hot hand here early on.
You know, if they keep up this scoring pace, we'll definitely see some big point totals from both of these teams.
Passes it to Rubio. Shoots over Batum. No good. Great D that time from Batum. And the shot is good.
Excellent space under the glass to make that putback possible.
Trailblazers leading by 4. Here's the bulldozer. He's got 15. And taken away by Roy. And here's Rubio. Whips it up. That's good from Pekovic on the assist by Rubio. Pekovic has got 6.
Boy, they are really getting chewed up inside here. I mean, that's 8 of the last 10 points they've given up inside, in the paint.
Yeah, and the paint should be sacred ground for a defense. I mean, you can't let anybody just trot in there and get an easy bucket. Offensively, just hammering away in the paint.
And that's 10 straight points inside, too.
Rubio outside. The dish to Love. He feeds it to Roy. 6 on the shot clock. This one for 3. And it's Rubio. That time on the assist by Roy. And it's 6 points here for Ricky Rubio. Back to Matthews. Slams it on the run.
Not stop. There's no way to stop that. I mean, there's nothing you can do when he's coming at him like that.
Well, that's right, Clark. Steve, he is a dangerous, dangerous player.
Yeah, especially when he gets to that launching pad right there in the lane. I mean, pretty one-handed finish. That was nice. Nice early advantage for them on the glass, guys.
You know, part of rebounding well early is just going after the ball and boxing out. I mean, establishing that tone so that you can maintain it later in the game.
Here's the bulldozer. Off on the layup.
You know, guys, if he does his work early, he knows when he gets in a good position, his size gives him a big edge on the glass.
And Rubio kicks to Pekovic. Rubio, good look. And there are the Timberwolves with another bucket. Portland leading. He kicks it to Aldridge. Leads him in there. Hickson with the bucket. Hickson's got 8 points.
You have a nice high percentage look right there.
And for the Timberwolves, they're shooting it from their comfort zone so far. In this one, 57% from the field. Roy passes to Rubio. And it's the Trailblazers on the break. Throws up the alley-oop. And the jam by Nicholas Batum.
Nice, aggressive defensive play to make the steal and start the break.
Yeah, and I like the fact they didn't mess around with it once they got it.
1:02 left in the first quarter. Rubio with it. 8 points for him. Love dishes to Pekovic. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. You're right, they've been shooting lights out here in the first quarter.
Yeah, and Kevin, they're playing with tremendous confidence right now.
Nikola Pekovic out of Montenegro. 6'11", 290. A battering ram of a big man. Loves contact, really knows how to finish inside. A nice player for the Timberwolves.
Leonard, he's checked in for LaMarcus Aldridge. Up top, Rubio, averaging 12 points a game. Kicks it out to Love. Rubio, 11 feet away. Outside Kirilenko, about 3 seconds between shot and game clock. Dishes it to Rubio. Kicks it to Love. Back to Rubio. He passes to Love. The second chance effort. Kicks it out to Rubio. There's the feed to Roy. Back to Rubio. Nice hit again. Outside for Roy. That will count. And no good trying to get that one. Well, it's been a high